Okay, so you got it all porous looking, right? Don't push it down because you're going to make it solid again. So when you have the meat, show the camera where it looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very important reason why. So you take the egg, like this.
So
And drop the
pour
egg in
the
there.
egg.
Alright?
Alright.
Alright, now do me a favor. Read to me what the seasonings say. What's that say?
Badia.
Mm-hmm. Read the bottom.
Complete seasoning.
Good job. The rest is in Spanish. Don't worry about it. Complete seasoning, right? Do you know what that means? Complete seasoning means it has all different types of spices in it. So you got your oregano, cilantro, basil, you name it, parsley. All right.
Yeah.
Read this one for me.
Italian seasoning.
Mm-hmm. Read the rest. Mediterranean blend, right?
Mediterranean blend.
It's similar to this, but it's got different types of spices in it too, but the same as well. Now read that one.
The taste you trust, garlic salt.
Okay, garlic salt is really important in Italian dishes because Italians love garlic, but they hate vampires. I'm just kidding. All right. This is breadcrumbs, plain. So when you put the egg in there, I took the egg and I smushed it up and laid it on top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reason being is because when you pour the breadcrumbs in there, it's going to cling to the meat. So when you roll your meatballs, it's going to be stuck real tight, all right? We're going to make a medium size, not big and not small, all right? There's no seasonings in this, so it's plain breadcrumbs dried up and crushed up into little pieces. You want to coat it?
Basically bread just...
Bread dried up and crushed up.
And crushed. So
all right.
basically...
Slow down, because you need to pay attention to this part, because I don't measure anything. I do what Gaga calls eyeballing it. So you take your breadcrumbs, you already got your egg in there. You make sure it looks like that, almost like it was snowed on.
So it looks like snow.
See?
Like snow just rain.
So you want to try like, say, a little less than 2/3 breadcrumbs ratio to hamburger meat.
Okay.
All right? So you're going to take it, and you're going to push it in, and you're going to blend. But don't blend all the way, because you still have to add your seasonings. You just want to make sure the eggs and the breadcrumbs are clinging to each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you blend, but you take it like this, and you fold it into the middle, because you see all that plain hamburger meat?
Yep.
You want all the hamburger meat to look like this. So you come up at the bottom, because the hamburger meat clings to the bottom, see? And it doesn't reach the breadcrumbs. You come from the bottom, and that's what's called folding into it.
Folding into it?
So, yep. So you fold into it, push down. Fold into it, push down. All right? So you got most of the way blended, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you can't even hardly see the egg yolk in there anymore. All right. So we're going to start with the most important part of Italian dishes, and that is the Italian seasoning.
Italian people like that stuff.
All right. So just like we did with the breadcrumbs, pour as much Italian seasoning as you did breadcrumbs. All right, go ahead. I'll teach you a better way to pour it. Here, you see him? Hold it over there. Loosen your wrist and go. There you go. Good job. Much better. It makes it come out faster and you can measure it better. Can I help you?
Mm-hmm.
So you lay it sideways like this and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because if you pour it like that, it's going to get stuck. It's thick pieces, right? All right. Does it look like as much breadcrumbs as it is Italian seasoning? Good job.
It's really small. It's like running that big and that big.
Your complete seasoning. You've got garlic, you've got basil, cilantro, peppercorn, and parsley, right?
All right.
Just like I poured with that, this stuff comes out a little bit faster because it's a finer type of seasoning. So hold it like I showed you and back and forth. There you go. Now don't put as much of that as you did the Italian seasoning, okay? Because it's a very strong seasoning. It's very salty. All right? So when I eyeball it, I want to make sure I can tell which is which, because it looks the same, but it's very different. Yeah, see how you can see the difference in color and texture? Just enough, though. That's what it needs to look like. All right, hold on. Gotta add the rest. Garlic salt, very important. All right, pour the same amount of garlic salt that you did in the complete seasoning, okay? Same amount, where you can tell the difference of what's what. Here. That comes out fast too, so. Tilt it some more. Just pour it how you think it's gonna work. There you go.
There we go. Freaking bigger.
Yeah, and you can see it, right? And you're pouring it perfectly too, because you're pouring it around the edges, and it's not too much. Because this is salty, and this is salty.
They're very strong.
This is Goya adobo. All right. This is why you like all my food.
Because I put
I
adobo.
put this on everything,
Including what's it called? That chicken stuff that used to make me a lot.
Think about it while you pour. All right. You remember how much breadcrumbs you put in there? The reason why you didn't put that much garlic salt and complete seasoning is because you're gonna put more of this. All right. It's not as salty, but it's really flavorful here. So just like the breadcrumbs looked, do it like that, where it looked like it snowed on top. Come on, pour faster. Don't be scared. Attaboy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Perfect. All right, stop there. Yeah, perfect. Any more would be too salty. Good job. All right, now this is going to calm down all the salt. What is it?
Pepper.
There you go. All right, I'm going to pour this one because it comes out fast. Just a little bit of pepper so you can see it. All right?
Yeah.
That's what we mean by eyeballing it.
You see it's so black?
You measure it by the way it looks when you pour it on the food. So we got all of our seasonings in now, right?
You
So we're going to fold like I told you. Fold into it. Fold into it. Make sure the hamburger meat on the bottom reaches the seasoning at the top.
Alright.
Alright, it's very important. When we get it all blended in, we're going to roll it into meatballs. Alright? You want to blend?
Sure.
I remember how I showed you how to fold it? It's all in the wrist. Tell me how you fold it. There you go. When you fold it, push it into the middle so, you know, don't be sporadic, just gentle.
It's all with a fork.
Yeah, a fork actually works better than any mixing utensil because you can make the meat do what you want it to do. Let me help you? Show you what to do. Alright. Turn it sideways like this, okay? Like you're gonna stab it sideways. There you go. Good. See, that's more like it. Fold it into it. And then when you get like that, when it gets all bunched up in the middle, take your fork. Let me show you. Take your fork. Dig in the middle, all the way down. There you go.
And reach the bottom?
Yep, all the way to the bottom.
It's already reached the bottom.
Alright, and swoop it up a little bit and fold it into the other half. You're supposed to sweep the other way. Here, I'll show you. I'm going to do it and then I'm going to have you do it, okay?
Alright.
Ready? So you had it all bunched up in the middle, right? Come from the edges, push it down. Come from the edges, push it down. Where it almost looks like a big meatball. But you see how the seasoning bunches up on certain areas?
Yeah.
And it's not bunching up over here? So when that happens, you get it all in one spot. And then you're going to cut down the middle, fold it into that big half. There you go. And then this is where you can have fun with it. You just like jab, 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 jab. Just mix. But don't make messy with it because when you're jabbing it and you're mixing it, the meat's going to fly. Just keep going the bowl, please. You're going to make messes. You're probably going to break stuff. You might stab yourself or cut yourself when you're cooking, but it's worth it when everyone likes your food. All right, so when it gets like that and it's pretty blended, you can see where the seasonings are still, you know, bunched up in certain spots. You take it from the edges and push.
Push.
Push. See the seasonings over here in the corners all bunched up? Push it in. Push it in. Mix it in. Alright? Now it's starting to blend really good. And the more you blend it, the softer the meat gets and the better it sticks to itself. So it turns into like a really soft like meat. It warms up and then it gets softer. Easier to roll. Alright, so we're going to put this aside for now because this is good. So you see it's all evenly distributed. So we got to open our can of sauces and make sure we get that in the pan before we start any further on our meatballs. Now that can opener you were playing with for the last hour, now you can use it.
Yay.
And it looked like you didn't know how to use a can opener. And you said you did. That's not how you use a can opener, son. That's not how you use a can opener, child. Oh, there you go. That's a little more like it. All right.
Help.
I was going to say, you want me to help you? All right, so. Take it. Keep it sideways. When you see it grab on like that, pop the can. Squeeze it tight. And it's really smoothly. You can do the next can. You smoothly roll it. But keep your arms strong. Because if you jostle this, it'll lose traction and you won't be able to cut it no more.
Tomato sauce. Can we show the camera?
No, you can see tomato sauce. It's just Vine's regular tomato sauce, unseasoned. That's why I know it's my own recipe, because I season it the way I want to. And now you're going to learn how to season it the way I do. I do cheat a little bit, and I took this can and it has seasoning in it. Del Monte traditional spaghetti sauce. It's flavorless, but they say they're seasoning it. There you go. Keep your wrist strong.
This thing actually works.
Oh, so you got it loose because you loosened up your wrist. So get it on the edge, squeeze it, pop the can. There you go. Now keep it strong, because it's really easy when you start to cut it. Other way, baby. There you go. Okay. And just keep that razor cutting into the side of the can. You can feel it as you go. Good boy. Good. Stop, because if you pop it too much, it'll drop in the can, and it's a mess trying to get rid of it. You just want it enough where you can lift it. Go ahead and pour it in the pot. Try not to get any spaghetti sauce on the stove. I'm going to do this one first.
Oh, boy, so good. I want to do it.
Well, what I want you to do is throw these cans away first of all and come back here. I'm going to show you how to season it. So this is just as important as seasoning those meatballs. The trick to a good dish, whether you're cooking Italian, Jamaican, I got it, baby. Whether you're cooking Italian, Jamaican food, Asian food, Mexican food, American food, whatever you're cooking, the trick is, listen, the trick is to season all your food separately and then put it together. All right, so that way you know all the flavors are going to come together nicely. So the spaghetti sauce is a little more complicated than the hamburger meat. This one I would probably measure, but let me see what it is. Half a cup.
Right now we can tilt this to the side, right?
The
camera?
I don't need a half a cup. Let's see, what do I have here? 1/4.
You have a knife right here.
Espérate. Keep your hands away from that. You'll cut yourself. All right, come here. So this is 1 to 4 tablespoons. See that line? That would be 1 tablespoon. That second line would be 4 tablespoons. All right. So this is what we're going to use. All right, 4 tablespoons of each. And then as we go, we can look at it, which would be eyeballing it after you measure it, and you can tell the ratio of spaghetti sauce to seasoning that you want to put in it. All right. So we're going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to pop the cap off of the seasoning containers.
Just a little.
To save time, because if you're sitting there shaking, it'll take forever. All right, so this is your adobo. Oh, that's a lot. So yeah, we're going to go with a half a tablespoon and about a tablespoon. All right. And then, hold on.
Can I do it?
There's a certain way you got to pour it. I'm going to show you first.
Yeah.
So you pour it like this, so you can see how much adobo you have. And if you pour it all in one spot, you don't know really what it's going to taste like. Right, now you know you can do a little bit more, because the spaghetti sauce is a really strong flavor, and you want to make sure you can taste that adobo in it. So go ahead, sprinkle it like I showed you. Back and forth, back and forth. Perfect. The trick to getting it to evenly distribute is don't put too much work into it. Make it a smooth, it's all in the wrist.
I haven't got any tomato sauce on it.
Don't worry about it, because you get tomato sauce on it, it's going to be hard to clean. You don't need to do that. It'll blend when you blend it. All right. So we're done with the adobo now, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put it up. Always put your seasonings up, because I'm not going to do it for you. All right. Pepper. Be careful with this one on tomato sauce, because it shows up a lot. I would probably actually just eyeball this without the tablespoon. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So the amount of seasoning you see on the top of the sauce is about what you're expecting it to taste like, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so now done with that. Going up. This is what you put the most inside your spaghetti sauce, Italian seasoning, because it blends really good with spaghetti sauce. Yeah, really good.
Like really good.
And this one I would eyeball, but you put so much on there that you almost can barely see the spaghetti sauce in the middle, right? And a lot of people would say, that's too much salt. You're going to get diabetes. Well, you know what?
Diabetes.
Not one person has complained when they tasted my spaghetti, so I don't want to hear it. You can spare the calories once a month.
Yeah.
All right. Garlic salt, almost as much as adobo, but not as much adobo. All right? Because remember, when you're seasoning food, what you see it laid on top is what you expect it to taste like.
Can I do the next one?
Yep. This is the complete seasoning. Remember how salty this is, okay? I'm going to let you gauge how much you should put in there, and I'll tell you when to stop if you don't stop already. All right, go ahead. Stop. Perfect. You don't want to put that much in there because tomato sauce is already really salty. All right, good job. You got your garlic salt. What are the seasonings you put in? Tell me. I'm testing you.
Adobo. Complete seasoning.
Good job. Good.
Garlic salt.
Good job. What kind of dish are we cooking? What kind of food is this?
Spaghetti.
Italian. So
Italian.
you put Italian seasoning.
Italian seasoning.
Good job. And then what else?
And
Pepper.
Pepper.
Good job.
Yeah. Salt.
I think that's all of it. Hold on, let me double check. Garlic salt, complete seasoning, Italian seasoning, adobo, pepper. Yeah, you're right. That's it. High five. Good job. Now we put all the same seasonings in the meats, except what else?
Except
Breadcrumbs.
breadcrumbs.
And what else?
And
What is it that you put in there that binds the meat together? An egg. The egg binds the meat together.
I was thinking pretty hard there.
I know, I could tell, which means you're paying attention. It's good. So we can take a little spoon. You don't want to take a big spoon, a little spoon.
Little tiny spoon.
Because that's going to help it evenly distribute.
And it's going to make it taste better.
Now, I have a little secret with my spaghetti sauce that makes it really pull together. You want to know what it is?
What?
Sugar.
Sugar?
Mm-hmm. So go get me the little sugar container. Give me some sugar, baby. And there's the joke behind that.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost the spoon in the sauce. Come back here. You will not get away that easily.
Alright.
Take that to the sink and rinse it off for me. I'll get another spoon. Go ahead. I don't want to fidget with a wet spoon. I gotta dip it in the sugar anyways, so. Alright. Barely put enough sugar in there. So you got 1 spoonful sugar. Like that, go ahead and pour it in. Spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. The medicine go down. Good job. Alright, so you see how you can barely see the sugar on that? We're just gonna put a little bit more. Alright, because there's a lot of spaghetti sauce there. Turn off my sink all the way, please. Okay. So you're gonna touch the bottom. Make sure you can touch the bottom. Only do this when it hasn't been cooked yet. Alright? And blend. And blend. Like when you do your makeup, you blend and you blend and you blend. Right?
Yeah.
Good job.
Let's try to blend it. It looks like tomato sauce, but you can see the seasonings.
So the trick. Look at you. Keep going.
Hey, it was good.
So the trick to spaghetti sauce is not the seasoning. It's not the amount of seasoning or the sugar. The trick to make your spaghetti sauce taste really good is it sits on the stove for a really long time.
Right.
If you're in a bind and you need it to cook faster, you cook it on medium to high for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then you turn it down to medium to low for like 45 minutes.
By the
So
way, this is how
it is. Check the time on the coffee maker.
6:12.
6:12. All right. So probably gonna have a little bit of a late one tonight. So we're gonna let this simmer on the stove for an hour. All right. And that's reasonable because the meatballs are gonna cook slow too. And reason being is because
like 2 hours.
it'll take about 45 to an hour. But the reason why the meatballs take a long time is because they're going to be tightly packed in. And you don't want to cook the outside before you cook the inside, and then the outside is burnt. So you want to cook it a little bit slower. Give me that vegetable oil.
Okay, reach it. I gotta reach it.
So the vegetable oil is going to help the meatballs stay meatballs and not mush up together and crumble. And it's also going to stop them from sticking to the pan. Vegetable oil is very important when you cook any type of meat on any pan. All right? Stand up straight. I know you're getting bored, but bear with me. All right. So medium, right in front of medium to high, right? Right here. That's where you start. Leave it be. I have it there for a reason. That's where you start with oil in the pan. Because you don't want to cook the oil too fast and then it pops and burns you. All right? There you go. Not too much, just enough to coat the bottom and stay coated for a while because you're going to roll the meatballs as the oil cooks. So you take the pan, watch out. You take the pan and you roll the oil all throughout it.
What's your YouTube channel's name?
Christina.
It should be
All right.
Christina Bakery. Christina's Bakery.
You know, if I ever had a restaurant, I'd call it Christina's Kitchen or Aunt Christine's Kitchen.
Oh, that makes sense.
I call it Aunt Christine's Kitchen.
That makes sense.
Right? All right. Would you be my personal chef?
Yes.
You know all my secret recipes and not tell nobody, you promise? Let's wash your hands.
I think you promise.
Sweet.
There we go.
All right.
It's this one. We're going to camera there.
Wash your hands. Hot water, always.
Yeah, hot water. There's a lot of germs. Right now.
Put your hands away from the wall. Alright, ready? A, B, C, D,
E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
And now I know
My ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me?
And now they are thoroughly clean and germ-free.
Yeah.
99.9%.
It would be better if you killed 100.
Make sure you get all the soap off your hands because you're rolling meatballs with bare hands, okay?
Yeah, and that's going to get a little disgusting.
Clean rag here.
Check for my hands.
Grab that clean rag off the way. Oh, sure it is.
It should be Christina's cooking lesson, right?
And Christine's Kitchen. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's what I have to go with. Alright, ready? Let's put this up here. Alright. Put this away. When you cook, as you cook, put your stuff away. You don't want to do it when you're already relaxed and tired of standing on your feet. So, take about the size of a golf ball, a little bit smaller than a golf ball, right? And you start with that. Yeah, but
That's
That's
about that's good.
perfect. And you know how to roll it. You done rolled it for me before, all right? Roll, roll, roll.
Gently down the street.
Go ahead, get your water.
Right.
And turn this heat down a little bit. So when you get that oil cooking real good,
Is this good enough?
turn it down medium, a little bit more, a little bit more. So as you roll it, squeeze down a
That's
little
good.
bit tighter.
Oh, that's good.
Perfect.
Alright.
Put it in your hands.
Oh, it's so tiny.
Squeeze a little bit tighter as you get it more rounded.
Yeah.
Go gentle and then squeeze down tighter as you
One
round
day
it.
we should make big meatballs.
And then eventually you can, squeeze it down as much as you want and get it as tight as you want. But you want to make sure it's a little bit, porous, and you can still cut it up with your fork. I turned the heat down after the oil got hot because it's going to take us a while to get all these meatballs in.
Alright,
here.
mine's done.
All right, drop it in.
Bloop.
All right, we got to be quick about it because that oil is getting hot, okay?
Mhm.
And then we always have to
That's
remember to drain the meat. That's a little bit much. Here, take this little corner piece off right here. Get off, you little bugger. All right, perfect. Roll it.
All right, let's roll.
Roll it, roll it, roll it.
Roll.
Turn this down a little bit more because that oil cooks the meat hot. But mine's a little bit big.
Yours?
A little bit, just a little bit.
Mine's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Look at mine.
That was your favorite part of making meatballs and spaghetti with me, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
We gotta be
Remember
quick.
at the small house I started doing that with you?
We gotta be quick because I gotta turn this heat down. It's starting to cook fast on the
Yeah.
meatballs. That oil cooks meat fast, by the way, just so you know. So when you're cooking, you gotta put oil in the pan. Just remember how fast it's gonna cook when that oil gets hot. Make sure they're a little bit, you can see the lines in it like that. Make sure they're a little bit tighter and smoother because it's gonna fall apart easily when it
We
cooks.
want to make as many meatballs as we can to fit in the pan.
Because meat expands when it cooks. It's just the way science works.
It's good.
And can we see? Open your hand. A little bit more here. Now that one you're gonna have to roll tight because you already rolled some of it before putting that last bit on. It's gonna fall apart easily. All right. It's called. When I tell you, it's all about the wrist, eyeballing the seasoning, the way I told you to roll it tighter because you added that piece. That's called finesse when you're cooking. They're like these little tricks and things. That's okay. They can go together. They're not gonna stick. There's little tricks and things that you do that makes your food taste good. When you see it, don't wipe it on your brand new pants, Menzel. Hey, don't worry about it. You're gonna touch more meat. Just get your hands dirty. Come on, boy. Find your cojones.
Is this good?
Yes, baby. That's a little bit big. Hold on. Hold on.
A little bit.
Better. The size makes all the difference.
I'm just like.
This is an E-rated childhood YouTube channel. So mommy has to watch her mouth, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Because I keep trying to tell you, try not to curse all the time.
I try, buddy, but you know what?
You can't help it.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. I got a potty mouth. It must be because of my ancestors.
She's a grown woman.
The Aztecs that cut people's heads off for sacrifices.
Mommy, tell her the channel.
Hey, we had some violent ancestors, man.
True. Is this good?
A little bit more.
A little bit more?
It's a good thing you're asking me because some of them will be smaller than others and some will cook more than others. That's good. That's enough. And you don't want to cook others faster than.
This is like my first time in like a long time of rolling meatballs.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I haven't had the time to sit here and hold your hand while you do it. So.
See, we know how to do it.
My mom taught me how to do meatballs when I was little. She actually just yelled it to me from the other room. I was like, Mom, how do I make meatballs? You just put a dash of this and a couple of globs of that and blend it really good. Flick your wrist. And she was in the other room at the end of the house. I had to figure out how to kind of do it on my own. She just yelled at me from the other room. Alright, here.
You?
Alright, we're going to start rotating some of these meatballs because they're starting to cook real good on one side. When you get all these meatballs in the pan, the most pain in the ass part of cooking the meatballs is you have to constantly roll them. Constantly. You cannot stop rolling them. So here, take this spatula and gently, don't do it rough because they're sticking a little bit. See how I just tap the edges and loosen it? Alright, did the hard part for you because I don't want you to ruin the meatballs. But yeah, so just roll them, gently push. Don't like dig the spatula into them.
Don't go. Yeah, this is wrong. Don't do that.
And you can like touch the top and.
Wait until you get my age.
Whatever you're doing with these meatballs, do not change their shape, okay? Make sure they stay round. Because like I accidentally dabbed this one a little too hard, I just got a dent in it now. And that's gonna probably be easier to fall apart. So this one, roll it. You gotta be gentle with the meatballs. Take care of them, and they will take care of you.
They don't work.
They'll taste better.
Okay.
It's funny when you cook because sometimes when you evenly distribute the seasoning the way it should be, it tastes better even if it's all the same seasoning and all the amount same. Any chef will tell you that. Put it in the right way, it'll come out the right way.
Pops.
You okay?
I just got run away. Don't do that near my age.
You remember my friend Nick that came by and had dinner the other day? Oh, you went to bed when he had came by. He took me to the store to get some cigarettes.
Oh.
He had some of my Mexican food, and he said that he loves how every flavor and every bite is individual, and you can taste it as you chew. That's what I'm talking about.
My hands are so messy.
Yeah, that's the fun part. You get messy with it. And when it's all said and done and people are sitting down eating your food, you know how it's good? Is when everyone's quiet. When everyone's quiet and you don't hear a peep out of anybody, yeah, that's good food.
Yeah, I only hear the.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you hear.
And between every 10 minutes, damn, this is some good food. Good job. This is good food. Just be like, I know. My mom taught me. No big deal.
Yeah,
and like flip your hair. Be like, no big deal. I'm just, a really good cook. Attaboy. Alright, rotate those and we'll take turns washing our hands because they have to stay rotated.
Alright.
Rotate the ones that have been cooking for a little bit before the ones that we just put in there. The ones we just put in there are still cooking on one side. They're raw as hell. The rest of them are starting to cook through. Alright?
Alright.
And then when they're pretty much done, but not all the way, we're going to put it on low and put the lid on top to protect the moisture. Because with the lid off, all that steam is actually water escaping the pan.
Oh.
Alright, so when you put that lid on it, same thing when you cook Mexican food, same thing when you do pork chops or steak or chicken. If you keep the lid on it, it stays moist. Alright? And then when those cook through and the sauce is cooked long enough, it's going to be another 10 or 15 minutes because the sauce has to soak into the meatballs while it cooks together on medium. Alright? Or low. Alright, so let's take a look and see what our little concoction has come out like.
Do you actually have a YouTube channel?
I do, but I don't ever post nothing on it. I posted a couple of videos of you and Jonah, but I got like maybe 311 views.
Have you ever posted any videos of me being a baby?
Not as a baby, because I didn't have my YouTube channel. Okay, I want to show you something real quick.
Does it take a lot of work?
Come here. I'm going to show you something real quick. What is different? Okay. What is different with this meatball than the rest?
That they're cooking.
It's kind of like mushy looking. It's like got pointy edges to it. Okay, this one wasn't rolled tight enough. I don't know who rolled it. It might have been you. It might have been me. It doesn't matter. But the little ones like that break up while you're cooking it, it's okay because it just...
One of the meatballs I was making was sticking to the pan.
So alright, so you notice how soft it's getting? We're going to turn the heat up to almost high, right in between.